this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it, I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do to prove their strength in being you. Learn so much in chasing dreams that I never would in school. Depends on where your passion lie, just no passion never lie. Life presents distractions, but your actions have to fortify. The things that you believe in have to scream it like a battle cry, and leave the ones who didn't looking stupid while they're asking why. Couldn't lie, I really do this for the ones I love. Those who treat the music as a vice and lyrics like a drug. Those who need advice on how to lift their spirit high enough to break out of the box they make of lives they know aren't good enough. Just because it's how it is don't mean it's how it has to be. This is what the uninspired testifiers fail to see. Jealousy results from being that which others fail to be, and if it means you're not with me, that honestly sounds fair to me.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
Do this for my mother, she'll be working for the summer. Do this for my father, cause these days I often wonder what my life would have been like if I was not adopted. To grow up in a home where I was treated like a problem. I don't know, it's just a guess. Your guess probably good as mine. Lucky that I grew up in a home that wanted me to shine. Lucky that I grew up around some mountains we were taught to climb. Without that inspiration, I don't think that this would be my life. Do this for my friends who've scattered all across the country now. I'm out in Sweden walking back through life so I can write it down. Make a living off the sound, so crazy to say out loud. I'm the biggest thing since Travis Rice to come up out the town. Sorry, gotta stunt a little. Used to have my dreams belittled, but it's all a part of it. I know people's minds are fickle, lines between reality and dreams I blur like faded nights. Come up been so good for me, I wish that I could make it twice.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
All right, I do this for you, Pops. Hey, well, shout out to my dad, man. I do this for him. If you guys didn't know the deal, welcome to the show. You know, I play that song every single night before we get started for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I have to play non-copyrighted music. That's number one. I apologize for the text here. All this was already talked about the other night, and I didn't change it. We'll talk about the Whataburger thing. Wimpy plays tonight. Northwestern doesn't care about their players. And give me another one. Tom Brady lost a ton of money. Cool. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't update it. Now we're here. Let's talk about it. So I was going to tell you guys, I listen to that song every single night. If you guys don't know how much my father means to me, my father raised us all on his own. So shout out to him. And I say all on his own. My parents had kids at a very young age. They weren't educated. I think they didn't complete high school. Maybe my mother did. I know my father didn't. And what I remember about it is they were just some hardworking construction workers working in the fields, whatever they were doing. And we were raised by, just traditional Mexican hard workers. That's how we were raised. And what I want to tell you guys about that is my father had 4 children at the age of 21. I want you to think about that number. 4 at the age of 21, and then divorced my mother. And he took all the boys, he took the 3 boys, and he said, I'm going to raise these 3. You raise the girl, my sister. Eventually, we all lived together with my father. He was just a hardworking construction worker at some point in his life. And he raised us to be respectful, highly educated, right? And just positive, contributing members of society. And I tell you guys this because we come from nothing. We come from the gutter. I know that my first house I remember living in was my grandmother's house. And at grandma's house, a family lived in each room. You see, I have 26 aunts and uncles, not including their spouses. I have 10 aunts and uncles from my dad's side of the family. And there was whole families in these 10 by 10 rooms. I'm talking everybody. And so I just remember my father giving us the best things in life and moving up in life and getting better. I remember we moved into a duplex at one point, and then we moved into a house, but we had no furniture for a while. And he was just borrowing money from his boss, and he would work on Saturdays to pay it all back. And I remember there was times in high school we were going on like team meals. You know, you're on the football team, and we were star football players, and we had to go travel a lot. I remember doing a passing league and going to a football camp at San Diego State, and you had to go there. And all the kids had money. We went to a rich white school my final 2 years of high school. We got out of the hood and the ghetto school and went to the fancy school. And I remember we went to this place, and we were going to be there for like 5 days, San Diego State. And we were with the whole team. But they said bring money for food and everything. And Dad went to the ATM to get us $20. $20. He was trying to withdraw $20. And that shit said insufficient funds. Insufficient funds. I can remember him getting paid off of one of his paychecks, going to the bank to cash his check, and the check bounced, which meant his employer didn't have enough money to pay him. So we thought we were getting paid on Friday a $400 check, $400 or $500 check max, and the check bounced, and he couldn't call his boss. There was no cell phones back then, or he didn't have a cell phone, and this was early '90s, and there was no way to get a hold of any money for the weekend. We were just broke the whole time. I look back on stuff like that, and I think I'm so grateful for what we became and what we are. My sister is a retired master sergeant for the United States Army with a master's degree and now lives abroad, right? We're all college educated or extremely successful in life. Everybody's kind of made it. And shout out to my dad for doing this. So I play that song every single time in homage to him. I do this for my father, and we want to be great. And he watches the show every single day. He watches every video I post. He watches everything I do. And he watches my brother's channel as well, Morant's Rants. And it's just one of those things. We do it for our father. We want to make him proud. And, one thing he taught us is be the best at everything you're going to do. And I'd like to think we are. I'd like to think we put in the time and we speak intelligently and we represent him well. Obviously, we have his last name. I'll tell you this. The other day, somebody got in chat and wrote, "Hey, are you related to Tony Rico? You're playing music the way he plays music. He had the dance floor pop, and my father's a very popular DJ in California." And sure enough, I thought it was a troll. I thought it was somebody just playing jokes and games. But it was an actual person. His name was Renee. And this dude, he says, "Yeah, man, I used to go to parties. There was this DJ. And he was talking about my father." I thought that was really cool. So shout out to TikTok for bringing that together. And shout out to the fans. You guys don't realize it, but you actually talk to my father every single night. You guys talk to him. He's in the chat. He's here every single night. And, shout out to you, Pop. So, anyways, let's get into what's trending today, because it's pretty important. What is trending in the world of sports? Tonight, 9 o'clock, we're going to get there. I have it on my other monitor and in the background. But Victor Wembanyama, the Wimpy Whataburger, this guy right here, this slinky looking dude, looking like Gumby, stretched out too far. Wimpy plays tonight. It's going to be sold out and packed. Now, I've been to Summer League games. They're in Vegas. Shout out to my boy, Lightwork is over there. Coach Lightwork's in Vegas right now. But, I think he's He's out on the outskirts, though. I'm not going to give him no shade, but he's not on the strip. Nonetheless, you can go to the game and watch him, but we're going to see the game tonight at 9. I'll have it on in the background. We'll see what this tall drink of water is about. But the police looked at the tape. If you guys don't know the story last night, word was Brittany Spears got smacked in the face by his security, by Wembanyama security. Wembanyama security guard smacks Brittany Spears, and I questioned it, and I said, hey, this doesn't sound right. How in the hell did she even reach him? He's this tall, she's this short. They're saying she put her hands on him, and they knocked her away and all this stuff. And I said, you know who Brittany Spears is. Why would you hit Brittany Spears? You know she's famous. What are you doing? Well, it didn't turn out that way. They got the surveillance footage, and she had pressed charges. She had done a police report and said she got smacked in the face. They played it back, and it turns out she reached out and touched him. Security moved her hand away and moved her away and pushed her away like they normally would, any status quo protocol. And she slapped herself. When they pushed her away, her hand hit her own face. She slapped herself. They saw it on footage. So the charges are dropped. There will be no pressing charges. Wembanyama's security team did not slap Brittany Spears. She slapped herself. It's caught on tape. She's saying it happened so fast she would still like an official apology. Woman, get off your meds. Stop popping whatever you're popping. But you sound crazy. If you slapped yourself and then filed a police report, you don't know that was your hand that hit your own face? Man, we gotta be, somebody needs to look out for these singers. These singers got problems. So, Wembanyama, you did nothing wrong. Now let's see if you can play some basketball. Speaking of playing basketball, word got out, y'all. Word got out that Jalen Rose obviously got released and fired by ESPN. His replacement, you guys can see it here on the screen, is going to be Kendrick Perkins. If there's any individual on TV I don't need to see more of, it's Kendrick Perkins. I've never seen anybody louder and wrong. Listen to that. Louder and wrong. Kendrick Perkins does not need to be on TV. They say he's going to be doing First Take, Get Up. He's a fixture on all these shows. He's going to be with the NBA Countdown crew, which is Richard Jefferson, some dude I can't pronounce. Where's JJ Redick, bro? Where's JJ Redick? Didn't JJ Redick embarrass this man on TV? I've seen enough. I don't ever want to see Kendrick Perkins. He'll never be on my TV. Let me make this very clear. ESPN, if you put Kendrick Perkins on any more of your shows, I'm not watching any of them. Not a single one of them. I'm letting you know that right now. I do not support Kendrick Perkins by any means. I think he's racist. I think he's a race-baiting racist. And if you want to talk about racists, I don't even have this up here. Stephen A. Smith said, all the people who want him to be fired, he don't care what they say because they're not black. His critics aren't black. Holy shit. Do you guys understand the premise is you must support me because I am black? Oh, you can't hate on him. It's a black man. You can't hate on, you're a black man hating on a black man? You can't do that. You got to want to see him succeed. That is ridiculous. I just got through saying it yesterday. I truly believe some Hispanic commentators are atrocious. Like, I can't listen to them talk. Because they're sitting there, they might as well be saying, oh, wait, ¿sabes qué, wait, let's throw some chingazos, that's it. They might as well talk Spanglish and sound ignorant. I can do it in a heartbeat because it's my foundation. It's where I'm from. But it's not how I would choose to project myself in public, right? Sometimes I see shit on TV and I say to myself, how did they get a job? Who is vouching for them? Who believes this is good TV? Kendrick Perkins is not good TV. Neither is Stephen A. Smith for all that matters. Like, people go, well, he's got the top ratings on it. Dude, he's the only guy on TV at those prime times. Change him out with anybody else and see the ratings stay the same. Because ESPN sucks. Nobody's watching it for their personalities. Nobody's watching ESPN for their personalities. Not a soul. Letting you know now. Transfer portal update. The only update today, Elijah Bean jumped in the portal. This is pretty nuts. Elijah Bean is the black version of Bradley Rosner. Elijah Bean is 6'5", 220. He was a freshman last year at Baylor. Barely played, if anything. Very slow on film, but my God, does he make his catches with his hands. If you go find his huddle tape. Now, when you click on his 24/7 profile, the huddle tape will error out. It won't even load up. So you got to stop being lazy. Actually, do a search for his huddle. Go find his senior highlights. And when you watch Elijah Bean play, I watched it for 10 minutes today. People, oh, Rico, you don't know all these guys. Dude, I watched a huddle tape for 10 minutes. It's not hard to do the research on these guys. I went around, read around, checked all his stats. What games did he play in? I went and looked for those plays. I looked at everything Elijah Bean's done in high school and in college, and I see a slow wide receiver with great hands. I'd say make him a tight end, but he's shown no propensity to block. I don't know where he goes. Why did he jump in the portal now? Very interesting. I'm not sure. Obviously, he wasn't up on the depth chart. But him being an undergraduate, he's not a graduate transfer. He's not playing this season, and he's already redshirted. So he's just going to lose a year of eligibility at this point, unless he transfers down to Division 2 or 3, and you can play immediately. Did you guys know that? If you transfer to Division 3, you can play immediately? There was a quarterback from Colorado. Somebody's going to have to fact check me on this. There was a quarterback from Colorado in the early 2000s, and he played the entire season with Colorado. And then he transferred to Division 3 and won the national title. I swear to you guys. He transferred to Division 3 and won the national title. I forget his name right now. I've talked about him in the past, but it's a true story. I'll get to the chat right now, but let's talk about it. Tom Brady lost $30 million in the collapse of crypto giant FTX. So they just came out and said Tom Brady lost $30 million. All right. Here's what I want to tell you guys. It says it right here. Before its collapse, FTX was valued at $32 billion. It's with a B. And then they're gone and they're worth no value today. Here's the deal. I always tell you guys, some of these people are broke. And you think, well, you can't possibly spend all that money. Yeah, Jordan can't spend $2 billion. These guys lost they lost their billions of dollars. Their valuation. Was it a fraud? Obviously. Was it nonsense? Obviously. People lost all their money. But how much money do you put in the stock market? 30 million is huge, guys. 30 million actual liquid dollars? 30 million worth of assets or borrowing against 30 million's worth of your mortgage or whatever it is. I'm telling you right now, $30 million is not chump change. This is why Tom Brady goes back to play in the NFL. I don't think that's why he came back last year. I don't think so at all. I think Tom Brady came back to the NFL last year because he knew he was getting a divorce. Okay? He had to protect his money. You know what? If I was getting paid by TikTok when I made this video, I'd be up. Because I made a video January last year, December last year, and when I talked about this and I said, hey, I think Tom Brady came back to play football, came out of retirement to play football because he knew he was getting a divorce. And he needed to protect his money. Remember, he had a contract with Fox for $325 million. Right? Or no, $275 million? What was the contract? $325? I think it was $325. Or $375. Holy smokes. What was Tom Brady's contract? I'm just throwing out a bunch of numbers. What was Tom Brady Fox contract terms? $375. Oh my goodness. 10 years, $375. So check this out. Tom Brady was worth like $250 million before this. Okay? $250 million. He's about to get a $375 million deal. Together, that's like $525, right? That's a hell of a lot more that you got to split with your wife if you're getting a divorce. They go, well, she was worth $400 million, Rico. She's worth no. 525. That's more than 400. You don't want to have to split that with your wife. So what you do is you tell Fox, yo, I'll sign that deal and I'll go get that 375, but let me get my divorce out of the way first. So let's put this off for a year. Let me get back to the NFL. I'll make some money. I'll make 30 million. I'll make 10 million, whatever it is. Whatever the Buccaneers paid him in his final year. I'll go do this another year. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it while I'm getting my divorce. He knew he was getting his divorce. But one thing he's not going to do before he gets his divorce is sign that deal right there. Okay? Prenup has nothing to do with what you obtain after the marriage. It's everything before the marriage. So they had a prenup, but it had nothing to do with your future earnings. It had to do with previous earnings and previous assets and previous gains. So it's a huge deal. I think Tom Brady, he's leaning closer to walking away from the Fox deal. Hold up. Oh, that was written in May. He's taking this fall to spend time with his family. Oh, he's going to walk away from $370. That's when you have too much money. I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to make a video about it. You know who's not broke? Tom Brady. Hey, but before I keep going to all these stories here, I'm going to get to the chat because I know you guys are talking about the stories themselves, and then we'll go from there. So you guys know the deal. You drive the show, you make your chat happen, and we go from there. If you're on TikTok and you're asking me questions, you need to move over to YouTube, ask the questions over here, and I'll answer them. I do not see the questions here. I don't see anything going on. All right? Shout out to you guys. And if you're watching the show, you're only seeing half of it because you're not seeing all the graphics. That's the reality. All right. Welcome in. Hi. Hit the sub button. Only ask a question once. Thank you, Steve. Shout out to Steve for being here tonight. Appreciate you, brother. Digital Assets, Jared. Good to see you again. Jared's here almost every night. A loyal fan and supporter of the channel. He makes it possible. I appreciate you. Welcome in. If you're reading this, Willie Bobo, it's too late. If you want to tell Willie Bobo it's too late, use the right version of the word too, T-O-O. Too late, as in too much. But shout out to you, Seth. Thanks for being here. What time do the fights start tomorrow? If you guys didn't know, UFC 290 starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. That is the early prelims. I will be here live streaming the early prelims at 6 p.m. And then we get into the actual main card at 10 p.m. So we'll be live streaming for a solid 6 hours. Easy. Hope to see you guys there. Jared, thank you for the tip, brother. You make it possible. It's Friday, guys, TGIF. If I ever get tipped and you guys support the channel the way you do, I do appreciate it. Obviously, on TikTok, they can't support the channel the same way. They can send gifts. None of that's relevant or equivalent. When you guys come over to YouTube, I make more money on my live streams, and I get the tips. It helps me eat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jared. You're making it possible. 2-week suspension during the dead period. These schools don't care. LOL. So what is Seth talking about? Seth just said there's a 2-week suspension during the dead period. These teams don't care about their players or what's going on. So I'll pull it up. If you didn't know, if you weren't paying attention all day, Northwestern suspends Fitzgerald for 2 weeks. Now, their head coach, Pat Fitzgerald's been the head coach since 2006. He's been there a long time, right? They did it for hazing. Now, the reason they don't care about their players or teams or anything is because, you guys, a 2-week suspension without pay in July means absolutely nothing. Coaches aren't even doing anything right now. It's a down period. They're not having practice. They're recruiting, but he's got 2 weeks off with no pay. It's vacation time. A lot of them are taking vacations right now. I know a lot of coaches in the FBS level, at the FBS level, they follow me on my channel. They send me DMs. You know what they're doing these weeks? They're sending me a lot more videos to watch than normal. They're sharing videos with me because they got so much downtime. They're like, Rico, can we watch? They're watching my high school film reviews. They're watching my videos. There's nothing to do right now. So Fitzgerald gets a 2-week vacation and then they said, well, we're going to do some other training. We're going to teach them what they need to do. This is a team that went 1-11 last year. Fire this guy already. Apparently there was hazing going on, but they can't point out any specific incident. 50 different people were interviewed. That's a hell of an interview. I'm sorry, a hell of an investigation. 50 people interviewed? That's nuts. And they couldn't find anyone to blame. They said there's no incident they can point out. They're not sure if the coaching staff knew. Then why are you suspending a coach? If you can't tell me any individual allegation, why are you suspending the coach? My next question is, how long did it take to do these interviews? Because the complaint came out in December. You complained in December. There was an actual complaint from a victim of hazing. And you start your investigation in December. And you magically conclude it in July? After the 4th of July weekend? You didn't get it done sooner? You wouldn't dare suspend him in June when recruiting's taking place. You wouldn't dare suspend him during spring football when development and cohesion's taking place. No, you didn't do it in January and February. How long have they been sitting on these results? How long have they been waiting to suspend him for 2 weeks? They could have did the first 2 games of the season. You want to go 2 weeks? You want to be hard? You want to do it right? Hold people accountable, man. That's all I'm asking. Hold people accountable. I had to post another video today about Georgia football because the fans don't get it. Oh, you think other teams aren't doing speeding? Dude, other teams are holding their players accountable. Georgia's not. They're just letting them do whatever they want. Javon Bullard, DUI, played 2 weeks later. Didn't miss a beat. Kenny McIntosh, arrested 3 different times. pulled over for reckless driving, crashed into an Uber, knocked his own tires off his car and the other car. The pictures and video are graphic. I posted them today. Didn't miss a game. Started all 15 games. This is a 7th round draft pick. It's bananas, bro. Haha, Seth, the Willie Bobo slander is real. Shout out to you. Hey, y'all, leave Willie Bobo's name out your mouth, y'all. You guys talk. Hey, the only thing you run around here is your mouth. That's what it is, Seth. Shout out to you guys. Tom Brady lost $30 million in crypto company. Jeez Louise. And it ain't much. Not to him. About to lose another $30 million dating Kim K. Is he dating Kim Kardashian? Let me tell you something you don't do. You don't date Kim Kardashian. Ask Reggie Bush. Ask Ray J. Ask Kanye. You don't want to mess with that family. That family's gross. They'll do anything for $1. They are famous for being famous. They don't have any talent whatsoever. Not a single one of them. I'm telling you. Tell Kim K I said what's up, though. She's interested. I got it. I'm built for her. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm built for Kim K. Just so you know. Shout out to J-Lo, too. We got this. John Jones and Stipe fight is booked for November 11th. You know, Armis, I don't get excited about that fight. Thank you for the heads up. I do not support John Jones. Ever. The man beats women, does drugs, does steroids, is a narcissist and a manipulative person. I cannot stand John Jones. I will never support him on any endeavor. So if I hear that he's got a fight lined up, I'm not excited because I don't think he should have the opportunity to earn more income, at least not in this regard. I think it's a terrible human being. One of the worst in sports, period. One of the worst in sports, period. Outside of Ray Lewis, right? Ray Lewis, I got two. Ray Lewis was talking about he got 2. He wasn't talking about Super Bowl rings. After winning the Super Bowl, he kept yelling out, I got two. He was talking about bodies. Ray Lewis killed 2 people. Shout out to your pops. Thank you very much, Steve. Shout out to him. Shout out to your father and brother getting that 4Runner back from the used car dealership. There you go, Seth. True statement. Have you seen Ohio State's 2024 draft class? Jacob, I haven't seen the NFL draft. I don't know. I don't know anything about their draft class. I got to see their final season of playing. How can a college team have a draft class? Thank you very much, Seth. I'm with you. I meant recruiting class. Okay, Jacob. When it comes to recruiting classes, I don't really care. Just give it to you straight. They will change their mind. They will flip before National Letter of Intent Day. And even after they sign, they will enter the transfer portal. This is why I'm the transfer portal expert. This is why I care about the transfer portal. Because that's who's actually going to be on your team. When you get a player in the transfer portal, that guy is going to be on the field 90% of the time before ahead of a recruit. Recruits are going to leave. They're not making it too deep. They jump in the transfer portal and leave. So I don't get excited about recruits at all. But thanks for asking. Shout out to Pops. My dad is the same way, hardworking and selfless. There you go, Jared. Yep, it's a good way to be. Brittany put her hands on his knees. Woo. Woo. Journey. Funny story there. Respect security. Yes. ESPN is circling the drain with their decisions. You know, Steve, I can't stand it. Kendrick Perkins does not deserve any other platform. But remember, they're the ones who hired Jemele Hill, too, and I can't stand her in the slightest. Jemele Hill still talks, and she doesn't even work there anymore. Brittany needs to call Justin so he can remind her of bye. Fair enough, Jason. I don't think they even talk to each other anymore. Scoot Henderson finna be better than Victor. You know, Scoot Henderson's on right now. I have him on my other monitor, my other screen. I've not been paying attention to him. I would be surprised that a guard turned out to be better than a big man that was drafted. It happens often, right? Shout out to Jordan and Bowie. But it's fine. Louder for the folks in the back. Thank you very much, Jason. I try, man. I try. Mexican soccer announcers are clearly the best, however. Touche. Y'all go YouTube Andres Cantor. You can thank me later. Go! Yeah, the guy screaming go. The only reason they kept Perkins is because he's on a massive contract. Who gave him a massive contract? That guy should not have any platform of any sort. I don't like Kendrick Perkins even a little bit. I never liked him as a basketball player. I like him even less as a person. The only reason I should know his name is from basketball. Definitely not as a person. I don't even like him. He's not likable in the slightest. He's just not. Sorry, guys. I'm scrolling here to get to the next story when I get to it. Let me get back to the chat here. Sorry. Just talking about what's trending to get ready for this wimpy, display or debut. My bad. Debut. Steve, bam. The only reason they kept Perkins, yep, thank you. That makes sense. ESPN college football layoffs, no Corso. They get rid of Pollock, McShay, and they keep Corso. Seems like the perfect time to reshape their coverage team, but these moves are puzzling. You know why, J-Lo? Because they want to do a welfare tour for Corso. That's what it is. They don't want to just cut him in the offseason. They want to have him do a farewell, his final send-off on air. It's part of their shtick. I can't stand it. I don't give a shit what mascot hat he puts on. I don't even watch that show during that time frame, right? They fired Wojciechowski, right? Wojciechowski, was that his name? The guy who tells the stories? They fired all the wrong people, dude. It's gross. You think Malachi Nelson will transfer for more PT? No. No, not at all. No, I don't think anybody expects to be a starter their true freshman year. I think that's absurd. We here. What up, Prod Self? We're here, brother. Please have a Patreon for members only and give you your picks earlier for fights. It's a valid idea. I haven't done it. Very valid. Haven't even thought about it. Patreon, give you guys some insight on my picks early. I can do picks on college football, but that's just more effort and more I don't know. Is the juice worth the squeeze right now? I make a lot more money on TikTok just putting out videos, free willy. We need a top 10 one-hit wonders in college football. Okay, I can do that. Top 10 one-hit wonders. Do you want them to be guys who never played in the NFL as well? One-hit wonders who never played in the NFL? I have a top 10 one-hit wonders, but when you say one-hit wonders, you mean one season? Or just guys that you never heard from again? Because I'm sure I can start naming dudes you never heard of. I'm just saying. Do you speak, write, and read Spanish fluently? I speak Spanish fluently. I can say any phrase, word, anything in Spanish fluently. Write in Spanish. It's not happening, bro. Can't write in Spanish. Can I read Spanish? I think I read enough. I think I can read it and get the gist of what the conversation is in Spanish. What you got to remember is my sister actually grew up in Mexico, Mexicali. And so when I hear my sister say that she's fluent in Spanish, or my entire family, when you have certain people that say they're fluent in Spanish, comparing it to myself, I don't feel I'm equivalent. So that's why you won't hear me say it. Now, if I tell you I don't know Spanish, and you look at me and you're like, well, you listen to bachata, or you sing every Sing Bandera song, or you grew up on banda, and you know this, that, or the other, it's just different, right? I am Mexican. I have been exposed to my culture my entire life. Don't get it twisted. But sometimes you'll see me go into a Mexican restaurant and order my food in Spanish, sure. But I'm not going to sit there and discuss politics in Spanish or sports. So that's how that goes. Dude's driving sounds like Danica Patrick. Ask Humphreys, too, about Kim K. She trash. Yeah, Humphreys was trash before her, though. So let's not get carried away. It is what it is. Are you a fan of Dion's 40-40-20 concept? Chase Summers, I'm not familiar with it. I apologize. I'm not familiar with 40-40-20. Is that 40 from recruiting, 40 from transfer portal, 20 from junior college? I don't know. I'm not sure what you're saying. He doesn't put much stock into recruiting. Thank you very much. What up? Sending you love. Thank you, Ginger Roberts. I appreciate it. Keep hitting that like button and sharing the channel. We'll get people up in here. Hell, see them in the transfer portal. Yep. Hey, Prod knows. I'll see the guys in the transfer portal. You can make a bet. Princeton is interested in me, and I get offered. You can review my film. I'll check mid-season. Send you my tape. Clayton Smith. You can make a bet. Princeton is interested in me, and if I get offered, you can review my film, and I'll check back. So, Clayton Smith, I'll tell you the same thing I tell every kid who asks me to review their tape on TikTok. The reality is there's only one of me. And I have different ideas and projects I'm working on. So I can only do so much high school film review. I'm doing as much as I can. There's a long line. I literally get a dozen requests a day. So it just piles up. If I'm only making 1 or 2 a day, or even 3 or 4 a week, and I'm getting 12 a day, there's just no way I'm going to catch up. A lot of it's underwhelming. But good luck to you. If you're getting offered by Princeton, go to school, go to class, and do your damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Be great in that regard. We need a Spencer Rattler video. Prod Self's been asking for a Spencer Rattler video for 6 months. I'm going to tell you, Prod, the same thing I tell everybody. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing nice at all, or don't say anything at all. You don't want a Spencer Rattler video. You think you want one, but you don't. Because after I make it, all you're going to say is, I still love you, Rico, but I don't agree. So there you go. Starting tight end at Cal this season. Is there a transfer? Bear with me. There is a transfer, right? I'm forgetting his name right now. Because the other kid left. Great question. Just don't know off the top of my head. I thought they were going to use 3 wide receivers. JT Byrne. JT Byrne. He is a transfer. But did he transfer this year or last year? Oh, he's an Oregon State kid. That's right. From Caramel. JT Byrne, Oregon State transfer. That's who starts at Cal. It's not going to matter. Cal's going to struggle. I really like Sam Jackson, though. I'm excited for that. But thanks for the question, Pete. Tip, listen to George Strait or William Beckman version of El Rey if you need a great Tejano song. Okay, there we go. I know about 100 George Strait songs. I do listen to country music. What transfer do you think makes the most immediate impact on their new team this year? So Michael Stupka, I'm actually doing a top 50 most impactful transfer portal players. I'm releasing one every single day. So if you want to watch that, there's a playlist for it on YouTube and TikTok. Just go to my homepage on either channel, click on the playlist. On TikTok, the playlists are at the very top above all the videos. So when you go to my profile page, above all the videos, there's a bunch of rectangles. Just go through them. Find top 50 transfer portal players. I'm counting down. You will know the number one player impact-wise before the start of the season. I think I planned it. It'll be like 5 days before the season starts. So there you go. 40 graduates, 40 transfers, 20 recruited. Okay, yeah. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Rico, are you going to do interviews ever? Michael Bell, right now I'm not set up for it. I do have an interview scheduled on the 11th or the 12th of this month. So in a couple days, I'll be on another podcast getting interviewed. It's going to be an audio-only podcast. They reached out today, and they asked me to do an interview. I will do it, so that'll happen. I was watching some of his other podcast clips. He interviewed Jake Plummer. He interviewed some other players, some other guys, athletes and whatnot. So I've done that before. I've also been on the Basically Even podcast. I like their podcast and their guys. They use other things. But me personally, as of right now, I don't want to do any interviews. I'm building my brand for me individually. In due time, yeah, I can interview players. I'm not going to interview fans or followers. But I can interview players and coaches. I just don't have the mechanism in place right now. I'm not well versed with my software to the point where I can do it. Now I can do a YouTube search and figure out a tutorial on how to do it. I am a cyber expert, but I just haven't put in the effort to do it. I'm busy with some other things right now. But once we get to it, Michael Bell, I'll tell you what, I'll start doing interviews once I get over 100,000. 100,000 followers on TikTok, I'll start doing interviews. 10,000 followers, 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'll start doing interviews. There's your numbers for you. 100,000 and 10,000, and we'll go from there. So just letting you guys know. Rico Knows, the gem dropper. Shout out to you, T. Thank you very much. You guys, every tip goes to me being able to do this for a living and my life. So, T, thank you for the tip. It means a lot. And if everybody gave that amount right there, I wouldn't have to do anything else for the rest of my life, and I appreciate it. Sincere, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I'm 6'1", 285 pounds with several small school interests. With my size, what are your thoughts on the highest division I could play? So size isn't really going to be, the deciding factor. 6'1", 285 sounds like a guard, not a tackle. Depends on your position, right? Are you an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman? Are you athletic? Do you have drive, determination, all these other things? What do your grades look like? There's a ton of factors involved. I can tell you this. I played with a guy named Mike McLeod. And it took me a while because we had 5 offensive linemen that were all Division I caliber. But Mike McLeod did something nobody else did. Mike McLeod moved to center. He was 6'2", 280. He moved to center, and he changed his goals, and he went to Boise State. This was in 2000. He went to Boise State because nobody else was going there. And they went on this run where they started winning all these games, going undefeated every year, and he was their starting center. And this was, a high school teammate of mine, and everybody else kind of made fun of him because he chose a group of 5 school. Going to a small school, there's no problem. You don't need to go to the highest level of football so you get recognized and you get the notoriety and everything. No, you just need to go somewhere where you're going to see the field and play. I don't care if that's an FCS level school. I don't care. Go where you're going to play and you're going to get a chance to play. It's important. Don't just chase after the schools that I grew up in Southern California. Everyone wants to go to USC and UCLA. Who cares? And I'm not saying, then go to Fresno State or San Diego State. No, I'm saying go to Northern Arizona or Northern Colorado. Go to Southern Utah. Go to Utah Tech. Right? If you're on the East Coast, find a different school. It's okay. I'm sorry my dog's barking. She had a run-in with a snake in the backyard. I had to get it out of there. I used the shovel and threw it over the fence. I have it on video. I just haven't posted it. I'm hoping she's okay. I don't want to have to get up and check on her. Ash, come here. Sorry, guys. Life really happens. The Gem Dropper, Rico's new name. No, Aramis. I like Rico Knows. This is where I'm staying, but thank you guys very much. I do like dropping gems on you guys. I love finding hidden gems that nobody knows about, but I can't go any further. Let me double check on her because she seems very agitated. I apologize, guys. I'll be right back. Ash. There was a snake in the backyard. Come here. Inside. Come on. Come on. Inside. She's not listening, but she's okay. She's not listening, but she's okay. And now she's in here because she thinks I want to play with her. Sorry, guys. I'm back. All right. Can you discuss how collectives work and how it's different from Fat Cat boosters of the 70s and 80s? J-Lo, it's not any different. It's not any different. The only difference, Fat Cat boosters from the 70s and 80s, meaning getting paid through bags of cash when, no one else was getting paid. So you had to hide the payments and things like that. Collectives are they said they were a tax-free organization. They were a tax-deductible organization, all these different things. But no, they actually are a group or it's a company. So collectives are a company that is closely related to the university, but not a member of the university. I want to make that very clear. Okay, so think of the Touchdown Club or, the soda and snack fund at a high school. That's not school revenue. That's not coming from the school district. That's coming from the snack fund over there, right? So this money that's going from collectives is from donations. It is. And you can make a donation as a fan. Look, let me show you guys something. I'll show you guys right now. So there's a collective for Colorado. Colorado Collective, right? And you can just go right here. Bus for Life NIL Collective. Support Colorado athletes today. Anybody can do this. You can support today. You can click on this and make a donation to Colorado players, making it possible. And right there, a 501(c) organization. And if you guys don't know what this means, it means it's tax-free. Well, this has been outlawed this year. There was just a finding just a couple of months ago. But this is Buffs for Life NIL Collective. Okay. NIL Collective means we can put all our money together. We've collected a bunch of money, and you can pay the players with it. This is not NIL, name, image, likeness. You're getting paid to do an ad or you're famous, so you got a sponsorship deal. No, this is this collection of money, and they got a bunch of money, and they can give money to the players, depending on how much you want. And the schools will say, hey, how much can we pay this player? Well, we promised them this much. Well, we need to pay them this much. And they can do it in increments, payments, whatever. They can do it as simple as paying your bills, or they can give you money in surplus of your bills, more than your bills, right? So that's how the players are getting money. It has nothing to do with NIL. It's just a collection of money. Every university's doing it. Everybody has their own collective. You can do a quick Google search, and you'll go there and get your stuff. So that's how that works. Fat Cat Boosters used to have to hide their tracks. You don't have to hide anymore. It's very public. It's very public. That's how it works. You just throw the money there. You donate the money. The collectors will get the money to the players. There's also a website called Tip My Team. They actually wanted to sponsor my channel. They offered me some money to sponsor the channel somewhere in, under six figures for they wanted a 6-month agreement to put a light behind me, and I advocate for their website, but I just couldn't buy into it. But there's a website out there called Tip My Team, and the way it works is everybody tips and sends in $2, $3, $4, $5 for their team. Anytime their team's doing well, anytime they see a touchdown, anything, you just tip your team like you would tip a waitress. You tip your team, and all that money goes to the players. And it gets divvied up to the players once it gets over 50,000. I didn't like it because you tip for your team, that money doesn't go to the players initially. It has to get over 50,000 first. And some schools don't get over 50,000 on the Tip My Team website. Matter of fact, no teams did. So what did they do with the money? Oh, we put it in an account and we let it grow escrow and we let it build interest and all this stuff. And I'm like, so last year you made how much money? And he goes, well, we made $35,000 last year in donations. I'm like, okay. How many went to players? Well, none of it because it has to be over 50,000. So this year we're hoping to get over 50. So what happened to the 35,000 people donated? Well, stop. You're not going to put my name on this. I'm not co-signing on a fraud. I'm not co-signing on a pyramid scheme. I'm not co-signing on some little sleight of hand to get people to pay money. Nah. So that's why I don't recommend it. I'm not out here advocating for it. I'm just letting you guys know that there are shicey stuff like that happening behind the scenes. Now, they offered me a ton of money. And yes, probably could have got their numbers up. When somebody comes up to you and goes, hey, we want to give you this much money for 6 months. You got to think to yourself, man, that sounds like a lot of money. But maybe they know what the going rate is for advertising, because here we are, and I had that conversation about sponsorship maybe 4 months ago. 4 months later, that amount of money is trash. I make more than that off of my content. But at the time, I thought it was a significant amount of money because I was like, yo, if I get that, I don't ever have to work again. Well, I don't. Think about it. They're shiesty, bro. They're out here just cooking these collectives. So, yeah, watch out for get-rich-quick schemes and new websites coming up. Nah. Every school has their own collective. Go to their websites and donate if you want. Hey, what are your thoughts on Alabama's quarterback battle? Dowdle, I don't think there's a quarterback battle. I think Buckner came in to start at quarterback. I think they wouldn't have brought him in from the transfer portal if they didn't think he was going to be the starting quarterback. They saw their quarterbacks in the spring. They weren't happy with them. And they said, hey, do you know a guy? Yeah, I know a guy. He was just at my last school. All right. And that's how they hired him. And that's why they brought him in. Do you think Utah could three-peat in the Pac-12 championship this season? So, Tyler West, it's going to be harder than ever. The whole conference is stacked at quarterback. Everybody's got really good teams. And Utah, if Cam Rising is healthy, then yeah, I think they could three-peat. They're there. They have every right to try to three-peat like anybody else. But if Cam Rising's not healthy, remember, he tore his ACL. Cam Rising's injured. I hope he's back. But yeah, Utah looks great. Every year, Utah looks great. Got to bounce, Rico. Live music tonight. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for being here every single time. Hire me to do it for free. $99. I'll be your tech guy. Okay. Prod self. I don't know anything about it, bro. If you can learn how to produce and get my windows open and get me to do interviews from a distance remotely, that would be hot as hell. I don't know how to do it. I'll figure it out. What conference or team do you see Nate Jefferson transferring to from FIU? Is Nate Jefferson in the transfer portal? It's news to me. How do I want to do this? Transfer portal. If Nate Jefferson's still in the portal, he's dead in the portal. Oh, he just jumped in. Holy smokes. I owe you an answer. Couple things. People need to know. Longwood, Lyman. Longwood, Lyman. Come on. So, this is a guy who needs to go down to the FCS level. So he needs to go play, and I'm not letting you guys say, I was just double checking something. his years of eligibility left. This is a guy who's never caught more than 10 passes in a season. So Nate Jefferson doesn't need... You not catching more than 10 passes out of FIU, you need to go somewhere. You're not Tyrese Chambers. You're not one of these guys who everybody's foaming to get. You know, you're an FCS level guy for sure. He needs to go to HBCU FCS route for sure if he wants to see the field. Go to Florida A&M. They're going to be great this year. I think they're going to win the SWAC. So I just don't see anywhere else. Where's Longwood, Florida? Where is that in the state of Florida? Longwood. What's it near? But thank you for the heads up. I didn't know that he jumped in the portal. I play center and guard. 1 second. I play center and guard, 3.4 GPA. Okay. So what you want to do, Caden, is you want to go to camps. That's what you want to do. You want to go to camps. And you're going into your senior year. You might have missed all the camps this summer so far. But you should have tried to go to camps. Now you just got to play ball out on the field and do your best. But camps are everything, guys. It doesn't matter how well you do. Go to camps. I recommend it completely. I'm trying to get into college football more. What's a good underdog team to watch? Civilian? Colorado's an underdog. Watch them. Watch them. They're a great team to watch. 6'1", 285 playing center. You're too little to be playing center or offensive tackle. Yeah, 6'1", 285. You sound like you're Mike Webster size. I don't know. You see John Jones, Stipe was announced. I did. You guys already know I hate John Jones. I'm collecting money for Alabama. Let's go. Shout out to Lewis Henson. He is an Alabama fan. I'm sure he'll make sure it goes to the right place. A Colorado donor gave $7 million to fund when Deion became coach. Chase Somers, that sounds great. They needed somebody to pay for his damn paycheck, right? They needed somebody to pay for his salary. What's to prevent players from leveraging non-fungible tokens, NFTs, to generate revenue? Players could create digital art and sell it for millions using crypto untraceable. J-Lo, the whole NFT idea and concept is just so far-fetched that anybody thinks it's relevant right now. It's not even worth talking about. It's just not worth talking about. It really isn't. People think that they're going to leverage NFTs to go make millions. I mean, look, I know this guy who did this. And yeah, dude, I know. I've heard about Bitcoin for the last 10 years. Easy. I'm in the cyber world. 10 years. And I know many guys, I'm going to go farm for Bitcoin tonight. I'm going to go stop it. Go to work like everybody else. It's all get-rich-quick schemes. It's all pipe dreams. Size doesn't matter. Ask Demario Douglas. Is he small in the pants? Is he small in the pants? Shout out to Demario Douglas. Great wide receiver from Liberty. And he got drafted, and he's going to be somebody. You watch. All right? He's playing for the Patriots. He's more important to me than Booty. I told you guys that. Whoa. Booty Warrior. What up? More important than water. Hey, I likes you. I want you. We're going to do this the easy way or the hard way. Respect. Who will be Ohio State's quarterback? McCord. McCord will be the starting quarterback. Crypto isn't untraceable. Thank you. IRS and Justice Department are already building manpower and expertise. Watch them come after people in the future. I can do it. All right, Prod. Thanks for the intel, Chris. I wonder how things can be enforced these days. Pretty simple. I attended 5 camps. That's what I'm talking about. 5 camps. I'll put together something to show you how and DM you a TikTok. Either I can do it to you or just listen to you do it. Okay, I got you. Thoughts on Juice Wells? Wide receiver, stud. We'll see if they can get him the ball. Shout out to Spencer Rattler. We'll see what they can do. All right, let me get back to what's trending, and then we'll go back to the chat here. So, what else is trending? You guys see Jalen Turner? Jalen Turner's a very muscular kid. Here he is at the weigh-in. He missed weight today, and he has to give up 20% of his purse. And he's fighting Dan Hooker. Here's my issue with this. I think fighters in the UFC intentionally miss weight so they can win the fight. They want a weight advantage. They don't even care that they have to give up 20% of the purse. You have such a weight advantage, and you didn't drain your body the night before because you didn't have to cut weight. You just concede that you're not going to get there. You don't even try. Because when you miss weight, they give you another hour to go cut more weight and come back and weigh in again. And in that next hour, you can cut more, and they don't even try. They don't even bother. So I think and all that's going to happen, the repercussions, he's going to get booed. They're going to boo him, and that's it. And he's going to lose 20% of his purse. They're going to boo him, he's going to lose, but there's no other repercussion. It's like Georgia. They're not punishing people for it. If you do this, you know what I would say? Hey, if you miss weight, If you miss weight, you don't get to fight again this entire year. You're suspended for 1 calendar year if you miss weight. Be professional. Respect your opponent. Make weight. If you miss weight, not only do you give up 20% of your purse, but you can't fight again for the rest of the year. 1 calendar year suspension if you miss weight. Because it's getting to a point where people are missing weight every single fight card for the advantage it gives them. I think it's bullshit. Shout out to Dylan Dennis for talking smack. If you guys didn't know, Robbie Lawler right here, he's going to be retiring after the fight tomorrow. It'll be his last fight. And for some disrespectful reason, Robbie Lawler's fighting the hybrid, by the way, right? Nico Price. They put him on the prelim. He's the final match of the prelim card. And Dylan Dennis, who no one likes. Okay, this is a terrible coach. He's a bad person. But Dylan Dennis came out and said, hey, man, you guys put a guy on the main card who's fighting a trash can. And he's talking about Bo Nickel, 4-0, fighting a trash can. And he's like, how do you have that trash can on the main card, right? A 4-0 record against a trash can on the main card. How dare you guys do this? I don't know, man. I want to see Bo Nickel on the main card just so he gets the hype or whatever. But I'd much rather see him on a prelim and earn the main card. Robbie Lawler's earned it. So has Nico Price. It's a little disappointing that they put Robbie Lawler retirement fight on the prelim. That just sucks. Kind of disrespectful to a legend, but we don't want to see that terrible Nick Diaz effort either. So, and I don't think we will. But shout out to him, and shout out to Dylan Dennis for calling somebody a trash can. It's pretty rude. Court drops their case. Once again, not saying it didn't happen, but if you guys don't know who this is Violent Bob Ross. That's what his nickname is, Violent Bob Ross. Okay? Pena here, he was arrested. Domestic violence back in 2021. What do you know? Some recanting of some witnesses. Nobody's saying anything. They couldn't press the charges. And now he's had all the charges drop and he wants redemption. He wants back in the UFC. Here's the problem. He's been out of the UFC for 2 years fighting this case. And now he's saying it was false accusations. But here's the thing. He's gone 2-3 since he got out of the UFC. In regional fighting circuits, he's 2-3 and he's lost 3 in a row. You're not getting back to the UFC. Congrats on your freedom, but you're not getting back to the UFC. He's actually lost 3 in a row. His 3rd straight loss in a row. He was submitted. Whoever's beating him needs to get in the UFC. I don't want to see Violent Bob Ross back in the UFC. If you don't know who he is, welcome to it. Hey man, Harry Belafonte died today. If you guys don't know who Harry Belafonte is, sang a lot of iconic songs. Broke the color barrier. One of the first guys to break the color barrier. He was the original sellout. I'm going to just put this out there right now. The man died at 90-something years old, 96 years old. R.I.P. Lived a good life. But this is the original sellout. I'm going to just call it what it is. Nobody liked him in his time. No one liked him in his day and age. Yes, he supported Dr. Martin Luther King. Got it. But he also dated white women, married a white woman, and people hated him for his interracial relationships. He got divorced, and he got with another white woman, and I think his movies were like banned in the South. I'm serious. South Carolina banned his movies. I'm telling you, they hated this man to all ends of the earth. And even the black community was anti-Harry Belafonte because he was a sellout. I grew up in Palm Springs, California. I grew up in Southern California. A lot of the Rat Pack and the rich people that were there, Sammy Davis Jr., things of this nature, Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope, Dinah Shore, just a who's who of people were in that area as I was growing up. And we learned a lot about historical figures in entertainment because we lived in that area. And one of the names I vividly remember is Harry Belafonte. So shout out to him. Rest in peace. Sad to see him go, but everybody's got to go. He's 96 years old. Done with it. Go. Hey, and before you die, there might be a nude photo of you online. And apparently there are AFL. This is not Arena Football League. AFL is the Australian Football League. And 45 players had nude photos leaked online. Who cares? But they're going to do some searches and they're going to try to figure out who did it. There's police investigating. They want to find out who leaked these photos. But this will be the equivalent of 45 NFL players having leaked photos online. But it's just in Australia, so nobody cares about it in America. But, more power to them. We're almost done with the update, guys, and I'll get back to the chat here. Coach Prime's hiring another NFL coach. Okay? This time he's going to hire Shermer. Shermer's coming over. Now, Pat Shermer had a rough stay with the Denver Broncos recently, but he's coming over to be an offensive analyst. Just another NFL experienced coach to do the analyzing and the analysis. I think it's a good hire. Used to be a head coach. Used to be an NFL head coach. So Coach Prime getting another NFL pedigree guy in the house just to come over and do his thing. I think he's stealing a page out of Saban's book. Get a lot of great offensive analysts and guys who know the game and have them look over some things. But it's nice to get a coach out there that has NFL experience. He is 58 years old, one of the older coaches. But, hey, I applaud it for bringing in as many NFL guys as you can. Any expertise you know, let's go get them. Now, I'm going to get to this chart, but I want to go back to the chat, and then I'll get to this chart, and we can talk about it. Because 24/7 Sports, absolutely embarrassing. But let's get back over here. Who will have a better college career, Arch Manning or DJ Lagway? Also, with University of Florida having the number 2 recruiting class, will that have a big impact in the SEC? So, boy, 1D0706, I personally don't care about recruiting classes. The fact that currently Florida has the number 2 recruiting class means absolutely nothing. They can fire their coach tomorrow, and all these guys can leave. Okay, that's number 1. So, without stability in the coaching staff, you're going to lose half them anyways. They're all going to hit the transfer portal. 30 guys hit the transfer portal from Florida this year. 30. So every recruiting class that Dan Mullen ever brought in doesn't matter either. The recruiting classes don't matter. They just don't. You're going to get recruits, and you're going to lose them. Transfer portal classes matter. And Florida's terrible at getting people in the transfer portal. In the spring, they only got 1 person in for a visit. You need to get in more people for visits. But they are administratively terrible at clearing people and ensuring that they meet admissions. That's why they didn't get any transfers in the spring. Florida dragged their feet and missed out on every single transfer in the spring. I don't care about their recruiting class. Don't. DJ Lagway has a chance to be good, but he also has a chance to be on another team being good. He can transfer and leave Florida at any moment, so why talk about it? Trying to anticipate or predict who's going to be better, Arch Manning, that's just ridiculous. And your recruiting classes don't see the field. You get recruiting classes, they don't see the field. They're not even in the 2 deep. They're not even in the 2 deep. They're not starting anywhere. Doesn't matter who they are. You're going to get 1 or 2 guys out of the whole recruiting class that can make the 2 deep, and everybody else is redshirting or chilling. Doesn't matter. Remember A&M? A&M's all-time great recruiting class 2 years ago? How did that help them on the field? It didn't, because you're just recruiting depth. And then you're going to lose it all in the transfer portal because you're losing 30 guys a year. So that's not how it's done. It's going to have 0 impact on the SEC. Your recruiting class has 0 impact on the SEC, just so we're very clear. You've seen Well-Off's last 2 videos. I always see the videos, Trey Clark. What's the question? Help me get back into UFC. I haven't watched since Chuck Liddell and Brock Lesnar days. Whew. What do I look for on Saturday night while I'm sipping my Bud Light? Number 1, stop drinking beer. Number 2, if that's your heyday, if that's what you used to watch, Chuck Liddell and Brock Lesnar, those are terrible UFC fighters. Those are guys who are very one-dimensional and brought nothing to the table. They're not high-skill fighters at all. Chuck Liddell is a bar brawler, and Brock Lesnar was not a fighter. He was a wrestler who couldn't strike at all. Those are not even my top 50 fighters. Like, I would never watch those guys. Ever. Yeah, not a good time to watch. I am very concerned with the Jai Hall. He is not on the college team yet, and we have 1 more month. No, he doesn't have 1 more month, Mr. Gim Show. He's not going to be on a team. There's nothing to be concerned about. His football career is over. His journey is over. One day you might see him try out for an XFL team, but his journey's over. When all the teams and all the schools had scholarships available, they didn't offer him. And they all had, now they don't even have scholarships available. They're not offering him. If you're still in the portal right now, you're not a football player anymore. If you're still in the portal and you're not at a junior college right now, you're not a football player anymore. You are one of those casualties of the transfer portal. You're literally just not an FBS level football player. Done. Nothing else to talk about. You are out of here. Arch isn't looking good. He might be in transfer next season. He is 3rd string at Texas A&M at this point. All that hype. I don't think he's third string at A&M. I think he's maybe fifth string. There's no way he's third string at A&M. Did the NCAA loosen regulations in pursuit of revenue because it seems that the death penalty that SMU experienced would not happen today, judging from the circumstances recent at LSU and Georgia? So, David Pithen, the circumstances at LSU and Georgia have nothing to do with SMU. It's not loosening their stance on it. What it is SMU was punished for the death penalty not because they paid players. No. They are punished for the death penalty because they were repeat offenders of paying players. Remember, in 87 is when they got the death penalty. But in 85, SMU got caught paying players. And they got punished for paying players. And they kept paying the players. They had this idea. SMU had this idea. Oh my God, we just got caught paying the players. But we made a promise to pay them. So we're not going to stop paying them. We're going to finish out our payments. I'm serious. They had a guy, they offered him, they were going to pay him 50 grand. They had only paid him 10 grand. And the boosters said, damn, we just got caught paying players. But we still owe that guy 40 grand. Let's keep paying him. Just to be good on our word, we're going to keep paying him. That's what they're saying. They said they kept paying the players to live up to their word. No, buddy. You kept paying the players because you thought you were invincible. You got the slap on the wrist and kept going. Repeat offenders get the death penalty, not first-time offenders. So that's how that works. That's why you don't see quite the same punishment that LSU or Georgia got. It's repeat offenders. Not sure if you've seen the well-off trench video yet, but Tank is looking real good at left tackle position so far. What do you think? No pads are on. Everybody's hand fighting. Everybody's talking smack. I've watched all the videos. Cool. They look the part. I think their strength is offense and defensive line. I think it's one of the better position groups on the team. So I like what they're doing. Do you react to them on live, the well-off videos, that is? No. No, I don't. I'm good. How do the websites determine the top recruits in a class? Yeah. They watch tape, supposedly. No, they have their own camps. And if you go to their camps, you get recruited favorably. They go to universities' camps, and they get information from them, and they rate you favorably. And that's it. They weight the players a certain way. They rank them a certain way. They're no different from you and I. If I start my own ranking service right now, and I start ranking all the players, you can go out and say, well, Rico Knows has him as a 5-star. Rico Knows says he's a 4-star. 24/7 has him at 3. That's why they say the composite ranking, and then they go and say, well, he's a consensus 4-star. Everybody said he's a 4-star. So don't even get me going here. They, for whatever reason, over the last 20 years, have more credibility than everyone else. I'm sitting there going, they got it wrong. I just saw a running back today. They have him as a 0-star, and I looked at him and go, that's a 4-star player. And then one day they'll make him a 4-star player, and the whole world will go, oh my God, did you see that 4-star running back? And I'll be like, yeah, I saw him, and I said he was 4 stars, but nobody listened to me because I'm just a dude in his house. You got to be somebody. You got to have credibility. That's why we're a movement. That's why I review all the film I do. Is Wemby on now? Is Wemby on yet? He's not on yet? Okay, I'm waiting. Let me go see if he's on here, guys. Give me a second. This other game's got 31 seconds left. Are we waiting for Wemby to go? They only got one court in Vegas, so I'm sure it's going to show up. Spurs, whatever, dude. It's got to be on after this. I'm sorry, I got it on my other monitor. Don't care about the score. Watch the well-off media. Cormani was throwing up at practice today. He said he's never seen anything like this. The altitude of Colorado was in full effect for a sea-level Florida player. Yeah, man. You got to work out. You got to go there. You know, when I first joined the Army, after you go to basic training, they sent me to a place called Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Sierra Vista, Arizona. It's about a mile up, mile-high elevation. And I started running up there, and I went, whoa, this is tough. And then when I got down to sea level, I could fly. So hopefully the same thing happens for these kids. They get in shape, and they knock it out. Rico, please give me your thoughts on Jalen Milroe. Haven't heard too much since that one dime video. So, yeah, apparently he's not good enough to start. Apparently he's not the guy they thought he was. That's all there is to it. Nothing else to it. Growing up in a football-dominated state like California, did you know if you could play in high school compared to a smaller, lesser-known school where anybody could suit up and potentially play because it was less intense? So David Pithen, yes. I grew up in Southern California, the Southern section, the number one section in America for high school football. And when you play in the Southern section, you have a certain understanding of how great it is. Let me give you an example. When you run track in California, the top 5 guys in the section go to state. The top 5 runners in the section go to state. And that's called CIF Masters. And there's a bunch of sections in California. Okay? And what we noticed is if you pay attention to the times, CIF sections. Let me show you this map. And they have the different school sizes and they have all the different sections. I'll try to show this to you guys. It's hard to tell. So in California, when you look at this map, this number 9 down here, that's the southern section. All of this is the southern section. San Diego's down here. This is the city, LA City section. You would think LA City section's good. They're not. Okay? Central and in North Coast. You got all these different sections. But in every single section, they take the top 5 guys to go to state. Top 5 wrestlers to go to state. Every single section is broken up by top 5. The top 5 guys from the number 1 up here, not a single one of them are better than anybody down here. These top 5 guys from up here cannot compete with anybody down here. They'd be in 30th place. So when you go to state, it's actually easier in state, in the prelims, than it is down here in the southern section when you're competing against one another. So when you play football and you recognize you're on a football team, I'll never forget it. We played football and we would go and we would see other teams play and we would be like, how the hell do those kids even get on the field? We're better than all of them. And we got guys on our bench better than them. But he's going to get 2,000 yards in Idaho. So one of our players on our team in basketball, you can look this up. Skylar Wilson was his name. Skylar Wilson played basketball for us. And he was an okay player. He transferred to Hawaii for his senior year. And he was the USA Today Hawaii Player of the Year. USA Today Hawaii Player of the Year. Best player in the state of Hawaii. And he was just another dude at our high school. He was nothing special. We thought he was good. We thought he was okay. And that goes for every sport and everything that happens in the southern section. This right here, this southern section, this is Mater Dei. This is St. John Bosco. Right? Everybody, it's a who's who. The people that come out of the southern section is insane. And I'm telling you, the players out of here, the guys that get left behind, the problem is, when we came out of school, there was only 5 FBS teams in all of California. San Diego State, USC, UCLA, Fresno State, Stanford, and Cal. 6 teams. And we didn't know we could go the FCS route. This is all you thought about were these 6 teams. And you're getting so many players, there's so much left over. And that's why they go to California JUCOs. Or you start going, well, should I go to, I heard about this school, Northern Arizona. Should I go to NAU? Nah, they're going to make fun of me if I go to NAU. Why am I leaving the state to go to an FCS school? Like, that's crazy. 1AA school? I'm not going there. Scrubs. And that's the stigma, is all the kids in this area don't have small schools to go to. Now, over the last 20 years, all of a sudden San Diego's an option, right? San Diego actually has football. San Diego University, not San Diego State, San Diego. Cal State Northridge closed their school. They stopped playing, right? Fullerton doesn't have football. You start running into Cal State schools. UC Santa Barbara doesn't have football. But if you get up here, now all of a sudden Sacramento State's a perennial power. Now all of a sudden we respect Sacramento State. Now it's like, hey, do you want to go there? But even then, you can look at Cameron Scadaboo. Cameron Scadaboo rushed for 3,500 yards his junior year. 3,500 yards in the number 3 here. He was in this section. No FBS offers. Not going to the Pac-12, so what other schools are there to go to? You go to Oregon, all they got is Oregon State and Oregon. There's no schools to go to, so what does he do? So Cameron Scadaboo says, I'll go to Sacramento State. And he goes there, and he crushes it. FCS All-American this year. 2 years, now he's at Arizona State. And that's my point, is every kid in California is just trying to get to a Power 5 school. That's all they know. That's all there is. It isn't like the East Coast where there's FCS schools all over the place. You know how crazy it is when I'm in Georgia and I look at Kennesaw State, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech, and Georgia. They have like the same amount of FBS level schools in Georgia as they do in California. All these kids have no idea how good they have it. And then South Carolina is 60 miles away. Columbia, South Carolina, right there, boom. Everything is boom, boom, boom. Not over here. Not over here. It's insane. So yeah, growing up in Southern California, we knew we were better than everyone. We didn't know that we could just go to a Division II school or an FCS level school and play football there. We didn't even know they were looking for us. We weren't looking for them. I'll never forget one of my buddies transferred to Montana. And we all talked a tremendous amount of shit to him. He transferred to Montana, went to the local JUCO, and went to Montana, and we talked smack like it was the worst thing ever. Another guy went to Wyoming, and we hated on it like you wouldn't believe. Because you're only supposed to go to these big power schools here or nothing at all. You don't go to Hawaii. You don't go to Boise State. You don't go to Nevada, New Mexico. Those are all laughing stocks. You don't go to those because you're too good. It's ridiculous. There are kids in this section right here being ignored right now that are great. And I know it. Lived it. True story. Sorry for that tangent. What is San Diego State going to do? Pac-12, Big 12. Will the Pac-12 take them just to fill in the SoCal void left by UCLA? Yeah, J-Lo, that's the theory, but they need to sign a TV contract first. San Diego State's going to wait their turn. They obviously have to pay a ton of money to the Mountain West for posturing and balking to leave, but they're going to go over there. So they're going to go eventually. They just got to pay right now. It happens. Do you have a player that we should take note of on CU that is not on the radar right now? 900. I already talked about it at length. I've talked about many of the players, but my number one is Caleb Mathis, preferred walk-on. I just feel like he's a young kid who one day will be the starting wide receiver and a household name. I like Caleb Mathis a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. That's the guy I've identified. There's others, right? Rico, have you heard of the class of 2026 defensive back Tay Lockett? Allegedly, he's already got 40 college offers. Can you tell me if he's any good or not? So, Tay Lockett. Give me a second here. I have a list of 2026 guys I care about. Let me see. I have my own database. 1 second. 2026, that means he's a sophomore, right? Or he was a freshman last year? Tay Lockett. Tay Lockett. Sorry. Tay Lockett's not on my list. So on my list is Tyler Atkinson out of Grayson. Okay, outside linebacker, Tyler Atkinson. Caden Drinkwater, wide receiver out of Massachusetts. Manoa Fapusa, Los Alamitos, defensive lineman, offensive lineman, out of California. Deuce Geralds, Collins Hills, defensive lineman out of Georgia. Had 10.5 sacks last year as a freshman. Cody Green, Eastside Catholic, offensive lineman out of Washington. Jalen Harris, he's a quarterback out of Chester, Pennsylvania. Pretty good guy. Keeson Henderson, quarterback wide receiver out of Texas. He played at Legacy School of Sports and Science. He's a wide receiver, really. Chris Henry Jr., you know his dad, out of Ohio, Withrow. His dad played for the Bengals, Chris Henry. Yeah, Chris Henry Jr., 6'2". He just got adopted by Pac-Man Jones, by the way. Crazy story. Omari Johnson, wide receiver out of Mississippi. Juju Lewis, or Julian Lewis, Carrollton quarterback, right? I love everything he did. Threw for 4,000 yards last year, 500 yards in the state championship game. They lost. Jalen McGill, running back out of Broome, South Carolina. Sabby Messick, quarterback out of Florida. Sabby can throw. He threw for 3,000 yards, 38 touchdowns last year. Corey Sadler, wide receiver out of Cass Tech, Michigan. DB and wide receiver. This kid, he's got 15 offers, including Alabama. Ansu Sanu, he's a running back, tight end, linebacker out of Oregon. He's just an athlete. He's got an offer from Georgia, Miami, Oregon, and Tennessee. Deontay Sheffy, running back out of Pennsylvania. I like him. Bradley Schmeigel, quarterback out of Newberry Park. Shout out to him. Newberry Park, great cross-country team, by the way. Jakeem Stewart, defensive tackle out of St. Augustine, Louisiana. Malachi Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. Malachi Toney. He's only 5'10", but man, he looks good. I saw him because, who did I see? Brandon Ennis, I was looking at, wide receiver that went to Ohio State. Was watching his tape, and Malachi Toney was on it. Braylon Williams, quarterback out of Mississippi. Yep, Braylon Williams. Nettleton High School. Looks good as well. A little short. And then my last guy I have written down is Jonas Williams, quarterback out of Illinois. So I went around searching for all the best freshmen, and those are some of the guys I look forward to over the next couple years. Just so you guys know. Yeah, those are my studs. My son runs in Southern Section. There you go. Do you have Oregon State in your top 25? Desick, I put out my top 25. Oh, I like Aiden Chill. I don't know if he's starting, but I like Aiden Chill a lot. His tape looks clean. Shout out to Aiden Chill. Going to Oregon State, I like Aiden Chill. Do I have Oregon State in my top 25? I did my top 25 recently, didn't I? I did my top 25 recently. Go find it. I think it's on my TikTok page and my YouTube. You can find it. What do you think about UVA as a whole this season? I think they're going to struggle. I think Tony Elliott's doing the best he can, but they're going to struggle. Caleb Mathis is on an education scholarship. That's cool. What do you think of Missouri's football's recent recruiting commitments over the last week or so? Nothing. I don't think about recruiting commitments in the slightest. Henry Jr. is coming to Colorado. All right, sounds good. I know you don't like quarterbacks from big schools. Okay, but what do you think about Michael Van Buren from St. Francis? So I like quarterbacks from big schools. I like Elijah Brown. He's from Mater Dei. Just signed with Stanford. I'm cool with him. Michael Van Buren, I haven't watched him play a lot. I haven't watched a lot of his tape. I was the guy that sent you the huddle link for my son, Troy Thompson. I can't wait to see what you think on TikTok. So here's the deal. Left the game with a shoulder injury. Oh, snap, Seth. But here's the deal, Troy Thompson. It's about a 2 or 3 month wait before I get to that video on your son. So be very patient. Don't send me another message. When I get messages on TikTok, they go in chronological order. So when you guys send me a DM and it's like, hey, check out so-and-so's tape, check out so-and-so's link, it goes down, and as I get more messages, they go to the top, and they push your message to the bottom, which is perfect. Because when I do a film review, I go to my oldest request. I go to the oldest video. Some people are shooting themselves in the foot because I'll tell them, hey, added it to the stack, be patient. And after I tell them add it to the stack, be patient, they wait about a week or two, and then they write me a message and go, hey, Mr. Rico, just double checking you were going to get to my tape. And they don't understand. They were moving down the chart, and they were about to get a video made about them, and the message they've sent me moves them back up to the top as my most recent message. So they'll never get a video made about them because they're not patient. They don't just wait. All you got to do is just sit down and wait. So eventually I'll get to your tape there, Troy Thompson, and we'll see what happens. I know it's cool. I'm just explaining to you guys my process. Where do you think UVA can improve? Everywhere. Xavier Brown, the problem with UVA, Tony Elliott is just not very good at what he's doing. It's his first crack at being a head coach, and he's struggling. They gave everyone an extra year of eligibility because of the mass shootings. So they're going to have 6-year seniors soon. They got an extra year for COVID. They got an extra year for the mass shootings. They got a redshirt year, and then they got 4 years of eligibility. They're going to have guys there for 7 years. So UVA's got a shot to have dudes there forever. But they got to perform. They had an all-time great wide receiver core 2 years ago with Armstrong, and they didn't do anything with it. They had really good receivers and tight ends, and they blew it. 2021. Go look at that whole list of guys. It was good. Wicks, It was Wicks. Who's the tight end? Jelani Woods. Billy Kemp. Didn't do anything with it. I'm telling you, it sucks. Michael Van Buren is the grandson of the 8th president, Martin Van Buren. Okay. Okay, well, they must be waiting a long time to have kids. He's the great-grandson? He's got to be the great-great-great-grandson or something, not just a grandson. My grandfather just died, bro. Is Jonas Williams better than J.J. McCartney in high school? I have no clue. What are your thoughts on Tackett Curtis at USC? My thoughts are he's going to get a chance to play and be good. Hopefully he's the guy they're looking for. Do the teams in Southern Section play many teams from other states? Yeah, some teams do. Obviously, Mater Dei and St. John Bosco play everyone. Name your preliminary college football playoff teams. No injuries, anything. Just what we all know right now. Tyler Rowan, that would mean I know who the conference champions are, and I don't. So I don't make predictions like that. Do the student athletes get master's degrees after 7 years? If they want them, if they're trying to earn them, I'll never know. Is Naeem Offord, class of 2025 cornerback, good? I've only heard good about him. Never heard of him. The first time I heard about him. I can't give you an answer. Never heard of him. All right, let me show you guys this thing. So 24/7 says these are the most improved teams next year. My issue is A&M being number one is assuming they were bad last year because of what? Like for me, the most improved team on this whole list is obviously Colorado. Most improved by a mile. Because these other teams already had talented players. These other teams were really good. Another improved team is going to be Iowa State. Wisconsin's going to improve a significant amount. I got Wisconsin losing one game next year. Okay, I got Wisconsin losing one game next year. If they can shock the world and win all their games, they're in the playoffs. But for me, most improved teams, it's just, I find this ridiculous to put A&M and Miami at the top. The only reason they're even up there is because of how terrible they were last year. It's not that they improved, they just underachieved last year. They were just worse than everybody imagined. That's all that is. Let me show you a list of 10 teams that underachieved last year. Wisconsin, most improved? What are we talking about? Just straight off of straight talent alone? They had to overcome Graham Mertz for a whole year. So yeah, of course they improved. But what are we talking? Most improved. Do you know what was on this team beforehand? Have you seen the players that were on this team? And where they're at now? They're all playing at the FCS level. They're all playing on the outskirts of the group of 5. This is crazy. This is crazy. If I had to put my money anywhere on this list, Nebraska, Colorado, Iowa State, Wisconsin, all improved in talent more than all these other teams. A&M didn't improve in talent. A&M's the same team they were last year. Are they guessing who's going to perform better this year? That's what this is, perform better? They're not most improved by any means. This is the same damn team I saw last year. Miami's got the same guys. A&M's got the same guys. This is nuts. You know why Texas can be considered most improved? Because they should have went undefeated last year. They should have beat Bama and never lost any of their other games. But Bijan Robinson is not clutch and fumbles in overtime. Bijan Robinson didn't show up against TCU. Put up 21 yards against Bama. Like, that's the reality of the situation. You got a terrible workhorse running back who's not built for winning games. Gross. A&M can be improved and still go 5-7. Exactly. 100%. Totally agree. I'm with you. Offord has a big list of offers. Okay. Victor's on now. All right. So, Victor's on now. Give me a second here.
Tony Parker was a part of that. And this was for Victor Wembanyama to come to San Antonio.
All right, we're going to transition to the show now. I can't show you the live stream. They'll give me a copyright. But I can play the audio as long as it's not a commercial. And we'll sit here and talk about this guy and see what's up. Apologize if you guys are going to roll out. I've already given my expectations on Colorado many, many times. Many times. Ash, relax.
Obviously, the Spurs and Wemby.
Well, this crowd is gathered. It is ready to welcome.
All right, let's see what happens.
Wembanyama, Mark Jones, Doris Burke, Cassidy Hubbard. They will have the call. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the captain, is in the house.
That is so good.
Kareem's there. Hey, don't Kareem look like he got bigger breasts than a woman, bro? Kareem looks like he's rocking a set. Just letting you guys know. I'm not shocked you have a tribal tattoo. All right, Kendrick. I'm not shocked you're watching another man on a Friday night. Probably with the volume in your pants down. I'm not shocked. Do you have an NBA team you're particularly high on this season? No, Tyler, I'm low on every NBA team. I hate the NBA. I'm low on them. I have UVA losing every single one of those games. So, I got Virginia 0-4 for the first 4 there, Xavier Brown. Sorry about that, guys. I had to fix my chair. I got them 0-4. What do I think about the hype of Victor? I don't get it. They do it for every draft class, right? They're always going to show you guys hype. They're always going to be excited about one of the many guys they have coming into the league. I'm not excited about it. I don't think he's very good. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to turn on this fan. Give me a second. Pardon me. I've never looked at a draft pick and been like, oh, man, he's going to take over the league. You're new to the league. I don't know who Kendrick is. Oh, Kendrick Hamburger? He just likes watching me from the shower, bro. He just likes watching me from the shower. That's all that is. It's no big deal. He's a big fan. He's a big fan. He tips me dollars. He tips me dollars. Yeah, I have UVA losing those. The only number 1 player that lived up to the hype in the NBA was LeBron. I'd say he lived up to the hype, yeah. He lived up to the hype and was beyond the hype. Nobody could have predicted he'd be the greatest player of all time, and he is. There's been other great number 1 draft picks. And you live up to the hype, because it depends on how much hype you get. But LeBron lived up to his hype, and rightfully so. I truly believe that. So, give me a second here. Oh, shout out to YouTube. They just sent me an email and let me know that my videos are suitable for everybody of all ages. Thank you guys for being here tonight. We're going to watch this guy play a little bit. Sam, he's a little and trying to be a ball handler. He will find out that he dribbles slow and turns the ball over in the NBA. Okay. Same. He is little, trying to be a ball handler. Okay, my bad. Same. I thought you said Sam. I'm reading too fast. Seeing what I see. Commercial break's almost over. Elijah lived up to the hype also. Yeah, I don't know what hype people are getting. Elijah lived up to the draft position, but I don't know about the hype. How's Whataburger? You know, we're about to find out. He hasn't played yet there. Paguno, shout out to you, brother. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm about to unmute this once we get off the commercial. So you guys just bear with me. I have to ensure I'm not listening to commercials. They're the number 1 culprit for copyright hits. The actual audio itself is okay. It's when you do the commercial that they get on you. Thank you guys for the love. Anybody on TikTok watching me, just come over to YouTube and you can ask your questions there. You're the only person that talks about sports that don't sugarcoat anything you say. Thank you, Kamani Ross. I think a lot of people don't sugarcoat. The difference is I don't sugarcoat and I know what I'm talking about. It's twofold. You can give a really raw opinion on things and not sugarcoat it, but be totally uninformed. Here he is. Look at this man is hanging off the rafters, bro. Like a damn bat. Why does he look like a bat? Oh my God, he waves. Hey, yo, he waves like it's that month, bro. He waves. Oh, that was a dainty wave. He doesn't have much to hold up his hand. That dude, he was waving. I think I heard him moan when he waved too. Come on, bro. This guy's leading. This is your GOAT. This is your guy coming out of the locker room like this. Shorts falling down. Of course. Doris Burke and Mark Jones. We cannot have anybody else doing these games, guys. We need a white woman and a black man. Checks all the right boxes. The wokeness is gross. It's insane. Shout out to Doris Burke. And don't start telling me Doris Burke is good looking. I don't want to hear it. He needs to put on a ton of weight. No. He needs to stay skinny because he's agile. Because he's a stretch 5. Come on, respect his stretch 5. Why are you trying to tell him to put on weight? He's not going to be anybody big. Drake thinks she is. Man, Drake doesn't matter. Drake doesn't matter. He does that shit for clout. He does that shit for clicks. No one believes Drake thinks she's hot. Drake thinks she's attractive and he can have any woman he wants. Then why does every single girl he get look nothing like her? Why is Drake always with some thick adult actress? Why is he with the same shit every single time? Some riffraff from Van Nuys, California. Miller's forcing his shot. He needs to calm down. Oh, is this Brandon Miller? Oh, is this Brandon Miller? Is this the arms dealer? Brandon Miller, the arms dealer? That's what he is. All right, here we go. That thug. All right. I'm not saying he's a thug. He's not a thug. I'm just saying he's an arms dealer. There's no denying that. All right, let's see this game here. Here we go. Is there a jump ball? Hey, watch him lose his jump ball, bruh. Watch him lose his jump ball. He got a vertical of a Frenchman. Dude, he almost lost the jump ball. What'd I say? Let's go. His teammates know he ain't it, bruh. They practice with him all day. Didn't he catch it by? I'm just saying he's an arms. Look at that. That screen, we're going right through the screen. Whoa, this is bad D. That's bad D, bro. You know what it is? It's these shoes these kids are wearing. I don't know what these shoes are. If you're not rocking LA gear, I can't respect you. Where are your pumps? Ooh, he cooked them. Woo. Miller started with a 3. Miller started with a 3. He loves shooting. Miller's all about shooting. What we watching right now, JT? We're watching the, I was going to say the WNBA. It's the Summer League. Oh, there's Wemby. He missed the layup. Give it back to Miller. Air ball. He loves shooting. He does. He just shot a blank. Nah, he just had something to do with it and provided something. There we go. Olajuwon performed at a level that was as high as the expectations, unlike Ralph Sampson the year before, Sam Bowie, who went number 3 after Jordan. That's not right. Sam Bowie went before Jordan. Jordan went number 3. But I get what you're saying, J-Lo. Pretty sure Sam Bowie went number 2, if I remember correctly. Sometimes I'm wrong. Hit it. Hey, where's Wemby, bro? Why isn't Wemby getting the rebounds? Look, dude, don't he run? Hey, he runs with these bent elbows, bro. He runs with bent elbows like this. This is what they're getting me excited about? Look at that. No one's afraid of going to the rim. There's no box out. Oh. Who saw him just miss this dunk, yo? Who saw him just miss this dunk? Who saw him miss a dunk? How do you miss a dunk when you're 7'4"? How do you miss a dunk when you say he's not moving? His feet are just standing there. Good rim protection. No, it is not. They're excited because he dribbled between his legs. Okay, he passed it. Oh my goodness, I just watched him miss a dunk. You said they took him out already. Am I behind? I think I'm on live. If I'm behind, let me know. If my stream's behind, somebody better tell me. Everybody getting excited like he's going to block something. Just seeing if I was paying attention. I'm with you. Olajuwon is that guy. I can't even lie. Trying to rhyme. It's bad time. I like Shaq, my all-time center. Hakeem is the best center ever. Stud on offense and defense. You're behind. Yeah, you behind. Damn! Hold on. Let me hit refresh. Let me hit refresh. Y'all got me way behind. They already took him out the game. Let's go. Let's go. I can't believe this. It's not playing. What just happened? Excuse me, guys. There we go. Says it's loading right now. I might have too much stuff going on my computer, to be honest. I got a lot of windows open. Wemby needs 50 pounds? Why? So he can't move? At least 50 pounds. What's that guy, Chet Holmgren? Chet Holmgren. What does Chet need? Doesn't Chet need 50 pounds too?
Knows this is a sold-out house pass for him. Good little drive. You can see his handle already.
I can see his handle already.
This for a 7'3" little shovel with the left hand.
Get excited, y'all. This is gross.
What about the fact that his French coach initially
All right, am I behind?
Pete Maravich ball handling tapes, old VHS tapes.
Watching Pete Maravich ball handling tapes. Bruh, hey, somebody clip that. I'm behind. I just hit refresh. It's just because I'm streaming on a YouTube TV.
Wembanyama says that
I'm going to be behind.
he was his favorite player.
Somebody's cursing.
Nice block
Dude.
and retrieval by
Whoever they brought in instead of him, I'm taking it.
also French.
Hey, I'm about to end this live stream and shut this off. I'm not watching this dude. I'm just letting you guys know. It's Friday night. I ain't watching this dude like this. 2 minutes left in the first. That's where I'm at. 2 minutes left in the first.
Goes right to Champagne. Look what I found.
There it is.
Sissoko makes the play. He stands up the dribble drive.
Hey, what's the call?
Gets him off and running in the other direction.
Timeout.
And Sissoko, another one of those international players for San Antonio, number 25 for the Spurs. Former teammate of Scoot Henderson with G League Ignite. I got to point this out.
G League Ignite.
Jason Hart does such a fantastic job of coaching those young professionals on G League Ignite.
Yeah, I think Chet's better than this Wemby dude.
Wide open, ready to learn and
Dude's a praying mantis, bro.
and ready to compete.
Hey.
Scoot Henderson in the previous.
Hey. Pass me the ball. Pass me the ball.
He was so
Let me get that ball.
getting anywhere he wanted to go on the floor. You hope to
This dude's a praying mantis, duh.
keep him out of the game on Sunday.
He used to be a young grasshopper. He took it too far. They called him young grasshopper.
Crossover.
And he took it too far.
Foul underneath and a strong putback
Hey, guys.
by Najee.
It's hard to make dunks like this, bro.
Out of Nigeria,
Can't wait till he shoots free throws.
the most intriguing story and one of the more fascinating.
I'm just going to sit here and watch the game like this.
At Summer League. Bobby Harts was telling us that
Yes.
his mother put out a video on Facebook, folks, and that's how he initially got discovered. People still use Facebook?
People still use Facebook? These guys are clowning. Here he comes. He's back in. Check him out.
2K24 25th Anniversary Edition for exclusive access to NBA League Pass and other in-game items. Plus,
Man ain't got no riz, bro. Dude gets nervous around women.
when you pre-order during Summer League,
See if he gets a rebound.
until September 8th, see you on the court.
He don't want the rebounds ever, bro. He's never going for it.
14-9 for San Antonio.
He's not here for it.
Last five.
Here we go.
Wembanyama.
Oh, wow.
Crossover and dime. No finish. And a foul underneath. So Wembanyama
Come on,
has some
Mark
handles.
Jones.
He's slick with
His
it.
sister is not pretty. Stop that.
How many 7'3" guys
I watched
are
her.
fluid with the basketball, the handle in a tight window, and can make that kind of read. Different angles, same play, folks. Crosses over, gets the step, and is 7'3". You're going to have plenty of vision.
What's she talking about, bro?
And his instinct is do the right thing.
I'm watching this dude.
Pass.
Is it too early to call him a bust?
1:10 to go.
It's not too early.
Wembanyama so far
I'm sure others have already called him a bust. I'm just confused.
rebounds, and at one time we saw a moment ago as an 8-foot.
I'm watching him get boxed out, bro.
Tell you what, when he reaches out and touches somebody, he can really touch someone from across the room.
Well, I'm sure Yao Ming had a good career.
Him early in this quarter.
Here's Miller, the number 2.
Brandon Miller's hitting his threes.
Ball of the night.
Do I watch tennis? Not often. It'd have to be a remarkable upset going down, and they have to be mid-set for me to be like, okay, I'm about to see some stuff.
With pace. Nice bounce pass.
Oh,
Will be out of bounds. Charlotte basketball.
you think he could have bagged Brittany? Not a chance, bro.
This is the prior
He probably has a small, he probably drives a Prius.
up late.
He probably drives a Prius. This dude's French, bro. He's like this.
First game
Wee wee.
Classic in Sacramento. With 6 points and 8 fouls in game 2.
Wee wee.
Wemby with the board. And there's about a 6
Cross handle was smooth.
between the shot and game clock. He slips the screen.
How's his screen game?
Got a little one.
You ain't moving nobody, bruh.
Embodied him, peeled him clean, and then
He's moving nobody.
Bailey on the break. Out of bounds. It'll come back the other way.
So on both ends, that dribble driver tried to attack.
He ain't backing down. He couldn't back down a guard.
Miller tried to take advantage. You just said it. Miller on the other end tried to get physical with him.
Everybody's going to get physical with him. I heard Brittany Spears got physical with him. Of course they're getting physical with him.
Still block shots when guys get into him. Speaking of shots, Wesley.
There it is. He ain't not trying to get no rebounds.
Victor Wembanyama.
Hey, I'm underwhelmed.
Boards and a dime.
All right, y'all. You have a blessed night. I'm done watching this dude. I'm out. I can't do it all. Not on my Friday night. I'm good.